Hello and welcome to my second global challenge battle. And I'll be right back once I find an opponent. Okay, here we go. Someone who also has lost some battles. You can tell because they are below 1500. Huh. A team with all evolutions. I always seem to run into one of these types of teams. Let's see. Who will I use? I think I definitely want Fluttermane. Also go with Incineroar, Ogerpon, and let's see, it's this probably either Iron Hands or Farigiraf. I'm just gonna go Iron Hands because of Fake Out. I don't really know what kind of sets they usually use, but it should be pretty easy since they're all just the evolutions. And I can usually beat this whenever I run into it in the Gold Challenge or Grand Challenge. Okay, so Jolteon and Espeon. Probably one of them is using Fake Tears. They're both really fast. I'm gonna go Protect and knock off into Espeon. Shouldn't lose me too much ground, and should kill the Espeon unless it's Focus Sash. Okay, so they're switching out Espeon. So I'm gonna see what the Jolteon does. Okay, they go into Umbreon, which if I had used a fairy move with Fluttermane, I could have done a big chunk to it. I'm gonna knock off will be useful. Okay, Eerie Impulse. Good to know. It'll try to lower my special attack. So knock off onto the Umbreon. I guess Citrus. Yeah, Citrus Berry. Okay, now I think I probably just Moonblast the Umbreon and Parting Shot the Jolteon. Or I could go Dazzling Gleam, the Fluttermane, and Parting Shot the Umbreon. Which I think is probably better so I get some damage onto Jolteon just in case it's Focus Sash. So Dazzling Gleam, let's see how much this does. Does a good chunk to Umbreon and Jolteon. And then Eerie Impulse. Lowers my special attack, but I can just switch out next turn. And Parting Shot into the Umbreon. And I'm going to go into Iron Hands. It will be really good against both of these Pokemon right here. Thanks to his fighting and electric typing. And they go for Toxic. Interesting. So my Iron Hands is now badly poisoned, but I should be able to make fast enough work of this team that it won't matter too much. So here, I think I probably just switch into. Actually, I even need to switch. Yeah, I'll just switch into Incineroar and go for, I think, Wild Charge into Umbreon, just in case it tears. Or I could just Drain Punch the Jolteon, which I think is probably the better play. So that, because I can always deal with Umbreon later with Fluttermane. Same with Jolteon too, but it's probably better to get rid of the faster Pokemon, especially on a team like this that has just all these evolutions. Okay, they're switching their Umbreon out, probably back into Espeon, to just in case I had Drain Punched it. Okay, Shadow Ball from Jolteon, so I'm glad I switched into Incineroar. Won't be dealing much damage. And Drain Punch into the Jolteon, which does KO. So now we're up for Pokemon to 3 with some good positioning. I can knock off their Espeon the next turn. I could probably double into it, knock off and Drain Punch, just in case they go into Umbreon. The Drain Punch will KO. Okay, they go into Leafeon. So I think here my best play is probably to Flare Blitz the Leafeon and Volt Switch the Espeon. It'll let me KO Leafeon and pivot my Iron Hands out for more fake out. So get that. Okay, so they go for Swords Dance with Leafeon. They don't have Sun Up or anything, so if they're even if they're Focus Sash or Survive, oh, they got burnt. So that'll basically nullify the Swords Dance. And next turn I can just use Flutter Mane to finish it off. Since it's faster than both Pokemon, they have no speed boosts. So now, Flutter Mane and Incineroar. I'm gonna go for Dazzling Gleam and knock off into the Espeon. So Dazzling Gleam should KO the Leafeon and do a good amount of damage to Espeon, and knock off will be able to finish it off by the end of the turn. They go for Reflect. So knockoff should probably still KO. Yep. Okay. They were no held item. Oh yeah, there. Scope Lens goes after the knockout. Interesting. Scope Lens. I did not expect that. I was thinking maybe Light Glade or Focus Sash. Okay, now Umbreon. I can just probably just Parting Shot and Moonblast. And I'll just go for Terra. So Terra Fairy Moonblast should KO. And if somehow it doesn't, I've got Parting Shot to reposition and lower the Umbreon's attack. But it should KO. I don't see why it wouldn't. So the Terrestrialize probably into Poison to resist Fairy, but probably won't do much for them in the end. Yep, Terra Poison Umbreon. Let's see how this goes. Moonblast. And surprisingly, Umbreon survives on what looks like about 1 HP. But it won't matter too much in the end because I still have 4 Pokemon compared to their 1. So far, even just 2 battles in, I've had some crazy KOs and survives for my opponents. Oh, Moonlight. Interesting. So they're going to be healing up some HP. But now I can just go for Ivy Cudgel and Shadow Ball. Which, the double up should KO the Umbreon. Pretty much no matter what. Yep, Shadow Ball puts it in the red, and Ivy Cudgel will finish it off. So yeah, I don't think these types of teams ever will really do that well in the GC, but I somehow seem to run into them every time. So yeah, now we'll see where that puts us. Okay, we are 234th place at 1524 rating. So I'll see you in the next battle.